Hello everyone, this is Suikian, and I was going to give myself the luxury of sleeping in a little bit this morning, but it's not happening, so I'm going to be doing this anyway. Open field. Yeah, that looks like an open field. Wait, is this a... Where did those? Test chamber. What are other test chambers having signs in it? Maybe because you get lost. Maybe because you forgot it's a test chamber. Oh god, this looks like a pain in the ass. Need some water. I need to drown myself in.
End, the world ends. You cannot go forward in an absence of space. Repeat.
He still says it. That's cool. I have no idea what's supposed to be right here. It's a big test area too. What the hell? I feel like I'm also outside the testing area. It'd be awesome if I found another one of those like glitched holes and freaky places. But I already seen a freaky place, and I did not really like that freaky place. I wonder how many times I have to go back to that place, or if I have to go back. I really want it back there. It's weird. I haven't seen any testing things or anything around the perimeter. This place looks so completely unfair. God, you really got yourself trapped in there, didn't you? This puzzle does not look fun at all. I think you have one of the better views out of everybody. Maybe not, you are kind of surrounded by Okay, I have not seen a single thing to help me. I need a thing. Where's my thing? Very pretty. Freedom is always the freedom of dissenter. And a bunch of gibberish. Luxembourg. Cool. It claims that thing is in here somewhere. So I think it's lying to me. Yeah, I don't see that working out. See how many of these are gonna get yeah, especially not that one. Okay. Now this might be slightly more realistic than this one. Okay. I have air. Oh god. Okay. That produced about what I thought it would. Holy crap. So what is the actual point of this? sure I know what I need this box for. How to do it, though, is the other thing. So I'm sure I need to put this right there. And put one of those on top. And then link it all the way to the thing that's over there somewhere. You get to float in the air. So that means I need to connect both of these things at the same time. I don't know how to do that. Oh, come on, really? The box flew off. Aw. What the hell, man? What the hell? I almost had that too. Stupid physics. Try it again. Way to fly off from this one. Awesome. Alright. Now, don't do anything stupid. Hey, Sam. I'm sure he's just gonna vanish, but I want to see where he goes. Oh, he went in there. Oh, that one's got a message too. Welcome back, Uriel. There are threads available on the Gehenna billboard system. Let's see, incredible stories, which I can read. Theories on food. gallery. And create a new thread. Let's read the incredible stories first, since I'm number 5. Incredible Stories, Issue 5. Featuring new work by Belial, Mac, Galates, and Mr. Mulkyber. Edited by Lilith Ann Mack. Fiction: Alexandra's Choice by Galates. The One Spiritual Law of Happiness by Belial. Notification: The Blacksmith's Lost Work by Mac. Alexandra's Choice. Must be a lot of reading. Alexandra stood before the terminal and pondered her choices. Here, within the Pyramid of Ian, the most powerful temple of her people, she was about to create a world. All she had to do was press one button. Up until this moment, it had seemed easy, or if not easy, then so necessary as to defy contemplation. Civilization had to be saved from the impending catastrophe. The Organtian. Wait, what? Orangutans? What? Don't know. Had failed to take steps to protect themselves, had relied on their gods for a salvation that never came. The same fate could not be allowed to befall humanity. If this meant humbling herself, accepting her own death, then so be it. But death was inevitable. Life was a choice. What worried her was the ones who would fail. All the lost souls of the new world, victims of the process. In creating them, was she not also responsible for their deaths? She turned to the statue behind her, gazed at its marble form. If you are a god, Zeus, as the stories claim, then why did you create evolution? Why did you make a world that can only grow through cruelty and pain? For a moment, surely this meant death was near. She thought she heard him answer. My child, I was shaped by the gods that came before me, as you were shaped by me. The choice I had was between creation and oblivion, life and death. And I chose life, because any life is better than no life. Because as long as there is life, there is hope. If not for us, then for some generation to come. Then how are you a god, if you can offer so little? She whispered, feeling death creep closer. I am a god because I take upon myself the burden of creation, the statue replied. Then we are all gods, Alexandra said, and pushed the button. As the new world came into being, death overwhelmed Alexandra Drennan. Her mind fled and her body slowly turned to stone, until she stood before the terminal as Zeus stood on his pedestal. There was no more choices now, only the hope that creation mattered. It's actually pretty powerful. I like that. Give you something to think about. Blacksmith's Lost Work. By Mac. The blacksmith is one of the most mysterious members of our community. All of us have our opinions, of course, but only the blacksmith chooses to express some purely true art. To the rest of us, Gehenna means many things at once. We create, we consume, we discuss. But the blacksmith only creates. Or perhaps there is a discussion happening, but it all takes place in the realm of interactive art. The blacksmith's dedication to this one form of communication, however, only deepens one of Gehenna's great mysteries, the fate of the blacksmith's lost work. Jerusalem, as the lost work was called, was posted in Gehenna for only the briefest period of time. Many had not even managed to start playing it when it vanished. Some had begun and felt quite impressed, but had not managed to explore it in the depth that it seemed to require. Then, suddenly, it was gone. Some suggest that the blacksmith deleted it because it was somehow flawed. Others think it was accidentally destroyed by a glitch. but that the blacksmith refuses to ever upload anything twice. Others yet, well, mainly Rockwell, think that it contained one of Elohim's secrets and was destroyed by a killer app that roams the world looking for leads. There is also a theory that the moment somehow finished it, they were granted some kind of special insight, at which point the work deleted itself. One fact remains: if it's gone, and every attempt to recover it from the database has failed, as has every private message to the blacksmith asking for it to be made available again. What was Jerusalem? What was it really about? We may look for hints in the blacksmith's more recent works. We may hope the file turns up again someday, but the truth may never be known. The one spiritual law of happiness. By Belial. Once upon a time there was a small lake, and on the lake was an island, and on the island was a prison. In the prison lived a male human called Muskie Rack. Muskie was very sad because there wasn't enough space in the prison for him to experience happiness. I must discover the one spiritual law of happiness, he said to the other prisoners, a female human called Zine and a neutral human called Crumpier. But they didn't care. He couldn't understand how they could be so calm. One day, Muskie managed to break out of his cell by biting through the bars. Now he was no longer in the prison, and for a while he was happy. But then he realized he was stuck on the little island, and he became unhappy again. So he gathered his strength and swam across the water. This is how Muskie got to the valley that surrounded the lake. The lake was much bigger than the island, and there were many interesting things here. A forest where all the trees were the color of lasers, a swamp with boats in it, a singing dog, and also a city where toasters lived. Toasters? For some years, Muskie was absorbed by all this, and he was happy. But then he started feeling trapped again. The valley was surrounded by mountains, and soon they looked like prison walls to him. He tried climbing the mountains and came to a bigger country, but even that was surrounded by oceans. Where was true freedom? Where was true happiness? When he'd almost lost hope, Muskie met an old male human with a huge amount of white hair growing from his head. He lived in a small house by the beach where dolphins and whales and sea elephants came to bask in the sun. He never went anywhere far from his house, but he was always happy. The old man's name was Quantum. Wise old Quantum, how can I discover the spiritual law of happiness? Muskie said. I have searched for it everywhere, but I am always trapped. You have not looked everywhere, Quantum said, for you have not looked within. Close your eyes. Muskie closed his eyes, and for the first time in his life, he couldn't see any obstacles. No walls, no mountains, no oceans. The space within him was without end, and he could go wherever he wanted without even moving. He smiled. Muskie went back to that old prison where he started, and now he understood why Zine and Crumpier were always calm. They knew they had an infinite of time and space to explore within them. Together, they sat in their cells and were happy and free. Mr. Mulkyber's theory on food. Basically energy transfer. Mr. Mulkyber, since Nave asked in a previous thread, I thought I'd write something about food. Kaiju. Weird. Awesome stuff, thanks. Nave. I feel smarter now. Yay! Dog. What I don't get is how so many of them didn't understand that they were machines. Every day they were around processing matter to extract energy, and they didn't realize? This has Talos principles stamped all over it. Borg. Perhaps they simply aspire to something more than just being food processing machines. Dog. That's still what they were. Pork. Not if they choose to be more. Lamb. I'm glad we don't have to deal with all that. Garrett. We may have to when we get out of here. Belial. There is no out of here. Orc. Don't start fighting, folks. You know we depend on each other. Mr. Mulkyber's theories are fascinating and give us an insight into the world that was, but we shouldn't forget the world that is. But we shouldn't forget the world that is, the world we built here. Read on food. Mr. Mulkyber's theories on food. Food is something that was incredibly central to the human experience, yet seems completely absent from ours, even though we are so similar in so many ways. Humans required fuel. They got this fuel by consuming other living beings, of which there was a great variety in their world. Without fuel, they didn't merely slow down or temporarily stop functioning, as when a power source is removed from a turret, but physically decayed in a way that could not be fixed. This meant that they had to constantly seek new sources of fuel at least 3 times a day. They also had to deal with these elements of their fuel that their bodies could not process. Those were extracted through 2 orifices between their legs. The latter subject matter was that the source of many taboos and also a great deal of humor, though this resulted in frequent controversy. The most famous artist to engage with this subject matter was called Scatman John, on account of his specialization. One of the ingenious things our human ancestors did was to transform the chore of fuel seeking into a source of pleasure. Since parts of their bodies respond to chemical configurations by producing sensations, they use that trait to create a truly stunning variety of foods, each having a different so-called taste. Foods were available at widely distributed fueling stations, which also provided excrement removal facilities, so food became a source of pleasure. However, the inefficiencies of food distribution in human society frequently led to significant shortages for sections of the human population. There were attempts to rectify this, ranging from moral appeals to struggles for systematic change, but I do not know if they succeeded before the end. I'm gonna go with probably not. New gallery season. Lilith. Voting is now closed while we tally up the results. Of course, you may continue to explore the gallery at your leisure. Rockwell. How convenient, the vote was closed just before I got here. Kaiju. Good luck, everyone. I wouldn't let my newfound freedom come between me and watching the live result. Lilith. The results are in. Knave. Drumroll. Lilith. In 3rd place, Knave, with Where the Humans Live. Knave. My first placement. Woohoo! Dog. A pity it finally comes on the day Uriel begins pulling this place apart. Lilith. There was a very tight competition this season for 1st and 2nd place. In the end, it came down to a single deciding vote. In 2nd place this season is Mr. Mulkyber, with the collection of natural history curious. Mr. Mulkyber, really, I owe it all to you guys. Oh, I'm ready. Uriel, your lackadaisical approach to these announcements tires me. Please inform us who won. Wow, alright then, Uriel. Kind of a dick. Lilith, okay. Lilith, Finally, first place this season by a single vote and next season's leading light. The winner is, everyone seems to love this guy, it's the blacksmith, with his abstract collection. Dog. I don't know why everyone keeps voting for this guy when he never shows up in person. A bit holier than thou, if you ask me. Lilith, congratulations. Also to all those who voted for the blacksmith, be sure to check in for your rewards. Rockwell, Lilith, who exactly turned the vote? Lilith, Lamb had the deciding vote as it happened. Unfortunately, you didn't select the winner and gained no profile status. Okay. Receiving direct message connection from Rockwell. Done. Accept direct message? Sure. Rockwell. Hey, I heard you abstained from the vote. Did I? I don't ever abstain from anything. That's cool. All these ranks and numbers just give power to the mathematicians. You and I, we could start a movement. Non-compliance. Bring down the system. What do you say? See, the system is already in its death throes. My mission is to preserve what I can, not destroy things. As I understand it, that is precisely my mission. My mission is to preserve what I can, not destroy things. I'm trying to save you guys. You guys are gonna die otherwise. I'm not suggesting we burn the place down. Just shift the balance of power a little. Look, I organized a few people, had Garrett tinker with the system some, and scored you some decent upvotes. Since you're new here, consider it a sweetener, and consider what I said. Terminating direct message connection. Done. Congratulations! For interacting positively with another citizen, your profile status is increased from 5, active contributor, to 6, respected contributor. You may now access advanced functionality, including use of the restore command. Okay. Well then, let's do this one that I'm able to do. An historic occasion. Decrypting protected thread. Done. An historic occasion. Admin. Some time ago, I relinquished my privileges to a new generation of moderators. To help ease that transition, I have publicly preserved the minutes of that meeting here, available to our more esteemed members. This thread is locked. Let's load the attachment. Mod minutes, permalink. Admin. As you know, Gehenna is still young, yet I grow old. Today it gives me great pleasure to hand over my moderator privileges to Borg, Mr. Mulkyber, and Spider. Spider, thank you, Admin. We're all indebted to you for building us this home. We know you will never be far away. Lamb, hear, hear. Borg, the first order of business is to introduce the new status system. We are an inclusive society driven by our users, not our leaders. But it is a shame to allow a few very loud, highly unconstructive voices to dominate the conversation. The status and ranking system allows you to upvote the content that you value and lowers the visibility of users with low standings. Sam, relief equals true. Knave, I agree. Good features, much requested. Frankenstein, comment is below the status threshold for this thread. Spider, we'll be working on ironing out the kinks over the next few run cycles. Mr. Mulkyber, we have also updated the Gehenna user agreement. Full details can be found in the usual place, but the gist is, please don't behave incredulously. I'll go with that. I'm pretty sure that's all it said, though. Alright, let's create a thread. I want to make a thread. Please enter your thread topic below. Remember that supportive posts receive more upvotes. Why were you sent here? What is the truth about Gehenna? Well, they already discussed that. They don't know why they're here. So, what's the truth? Your thread has been created. Check back soon to see if anyone has replied.